Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome to another Elder Scrolls Online video. And today I'm going to be trying to restart a PvP guide series that I tried to start a little while on my channel. It was called Outnumbered Fights. The reason why I kind of stopped doing those was because I kind of made it a little bit too hard on myself to be able to do. I was kind of trying to have a new fight every time to explain the concept, which was pretty hard because fights don't really go the way that you want them to every time. So this time around I'm going to be just looking at videos that I've already posted and kind of slowing down the fights here and there just so I can do it a little bit easier instead of trying to like force certain fights. Because of that, you might be seeing some of the same fights in these guide videos, but they're not meant to show off the individual fights themselves. They're more so there just to help me explain the concept. Now, the thing we're going to be talking about today is rotations. What a rotation is, is pretty simple. It's pretty much consists of like three things. It's just an opener, some form of a burst, and then your finisher or an execute. Now, those things can contain any type of ability. So, for example, your opener can be a damage over time, it can be a stun, it can be a debuff. It doesn't have to be a specific thing, and that goes for all of them. Your burst can be any type of ability, but generally speaking, you want your execute to be some ability that has execute damage on it. Now, the reason why rotations are very important is because, like I said, fights don't go the way that you want them to. You're not always going to be in a situation where you're comfortable, where you're able to get all the abilities off in the order that you want to, and because of that, you want to have those set abilities that you use almost down as like muscle memory, so that once you're actually in those situations where your health is low and you have to dodge roll and it's a tense situation, you're still able to get that combo off without having to think about it too much. So let's look at my DK first, my hybrid DK. So the opener that I use on this character is Petrify and Flame Lash. I wouldn't really consider my gap closer as part of my opener because there's going to be situations like this one right here where I'm not going to have a situation to use it. So my opener would really consist of Petrify and Flame Lash. Petrify, which is going to put them into a hard stun, and then Flame Lash, which is going to set them off balance. And then, because they're stunned and off balance, my heavy attacks are going to do a lot more damage, etc. But the burst part of my combo is heavy attack into running flashes. A couple of more things are happening during that. The timing of my Petrify should explode at the time that I'm hitting my heavy attack. Both my enchants are going off, my Thunder Flame set is going off, so it's a couple of different things that are hitting off, but that's my burst part of my combo right there. And then I go into a Power Lash, and then if they don't die to the Power Lash, I'll try to go into an Execute. But that right there is the same, I do that every single time when I'm fighting. That exact same combo right there. It never changes. Now, let's look at a situation where I'm not in an ideal, like my health is not full, I don't have the jump on her. Here I'm in a outnumbered tower fight, I believe. I'm running up these stairs and then I end up getting stunned by a Dawnbreaker. My health is low. Now this is the situation where I don't really have the time or the leisure to kind of set my combo up. You see me still trying to go for, I still go for a Petrify, I still go for a Flame Lash. It does end up dodge rolling it. Another pair does show up and my health is pretty low. I'm getting pretty low here. But you're gonna see me still go for the combo. So I'm taking a snipe from this player right here. My health is getting pretty low. I'm getting to about half before I actually go for my combo. I get hit for the snipe, but I can see that my blood spawn is up. This is another thing too. You kind of want to be aware of kind of how much damage you can take and how much damage you are taking. That's something that I'll kind of go into a separate video. But you're gonna see me go into the combo still, and I'm going for like dodge rolls and stuff in between. So I go for the Flame Lash, I go for a dodge roll right after, and then I go for the power lash into another dodge roll, and then he misses both of his attacks on me. So I'm still going for the exact same thing: petrify, flame lash, running flashes, but I'm throwing things like dodge roll and stuff like that in the middle there because I have that rotation down. Let's just look at another example really quick. Another fight where I'm out in a field. We got a bunch of guys on me. This one I'm not as low, but I do see that there's like 4 people around me. So I go for the petrify, go for the flame lash, and I go for a dodge roll right after. Because I see that there's 4 people around. If I were to just stand there and try to go for my entire combo, it's not really going to turn out well. So I go for the petrify, flame lash, and then I cancel the flame lash with the dodge roll because I know they're going to be throwing stuff at me, which they are. And then I go for another dodge roll right after the power lash there. Let's look at it one more time all the way through. We go for a petrify after the crit rush there. Dodge roll, dodging a bunch of their attacks there. Do a heavy, do a petrify into another dodge roll. So you see my health here. If I were to have stood there and go for my entire combo on that guy, I would have been much lower. I probably would have died. But because I threw those dodge rolls in between my combo there, and I didn't have to think about which abilities I was using, I was able to execute that a lot more cleanly. Let's look at another character of mine. This is a stamina Templar, but it uses a bow only. So this plays out very differently than my DK does. So the opener for this build is Power of the Light. If I can, I would like to get a heavy attack in there beforehand, but obviously you're not going to have a situation to do that every time. So it's usually going to be Power of the Light into Poison Injection, because the way that Power of the Light works is it multiplies all the damage they take. I'm running Sheer Venom on this side as well, so I pop a Poison Injection right at the start of the Power of the Light duration, just so I can get that those 2 dots ticking. And then the burst part of my rotation is Crushing Weapon into Binding Javelin. Basically the way these 2 abilities work is I can proc the Crushing Weapon and then do a light attack into a Binding Javelin, and basically all 3 of those things will hit. And then I have a chance to also proc my my Binding Javelin. And then this is different in the sense that my stun is a part of my burst here. On my DK, my stun was a part of my opener, where I used my petrify into flame lash, but here my burst is my stun. So this is what I meant, where you don't have to have the same. It doesn't have to be necessarily a stun to be your opener every single time. If you can fit a burst as your, if you can fit a stun as your burst, as a part of your rotation, that can work as well. So let's just take a look at what this looks like here. So like I said, I'd like to try to heavy if I can, but if not, it's fine. Power of the Light into a Poison Injection. Charger Crushing Weapon, hit him with a burst. And then the way that my execute works on this build, because I don't have a hard execute, Poison Injection still functions as an execute. But the thing that I'm banking on to be my execute is Power of the Light. Basically, I'm trying to have my combo or my burst part of my rotation is setting them up to be executed. I'm trying to get them low enough so that they're stunned, so they can't heal. You can see he's about 5.9k health right now. And then the Power of the Light finishes him off. Now, let's look at the situation where I'm not going to be in that scenario. I don't really have all the time in the world to be to charge up a heavy and to line those attacks up and whatnot. Where is it? Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so this is a situation where I would like to be far away from a person before I engage with them. Like I said, I am a ranged build. Here's a situation where somebody's already on me. So I'm still going to use my rotation. I still pop the Power of the Light. Hit him with a Poison Injection. Oh no, sorry. I think I changed it up here. So this is another thing as well. the way that I changed I incorporated different things in my DK rotation, my dodge rolling. Here on this build in particular, I might have to use my stun first and then kind of change the order of things depending on the fight. So here you're gonna see me hit him with the stun first, hit him with the poison injection. He is another Templar, so he ends up purging my Power Light and doesn't execute. Well, let's just take a look at this fight still. I'll try to hit him with another stun just so I can create some more distance, because like I said, this is a range build. I have a little bit of space on him now, so I hit him with the poison injection, charge up the crushing weapon, and you can see even though this fight is not the most desirable one, he's right up in my face, I'm still able to somewhat get my combo off, and poison injection into crushing weapon. I use my meteor there as a part of my combo because he's pretty close to me. I still hit him with the stun, and then generally speaking my combo still went the same there. On this build things will fluctuate a lot more because, like I said, it's when you're playing a range only build, you can get into a bad situation a lot easier. And then last but not least, let's just look at my knight play really quick. This build is also different than my other ones. My rotation on this one starts off with dark or shadow cloak, so I try to go into stealth, and then I use surprise attack as my opener. I'm using flanking on this set, so my burst, if I have my ult up, would be running flashes into cap. If not, if I don't have my ult up, I'll just use running flashes into another surprise attack, and then I try to execute them. So the stages of this rotation are stealth into surprise attack, running flashes into incap, and then I try to go for an execute. Here is a situation where I don't get to kind of plan my attack on them. I don't get to go in stealth beforehand, and then get the jump on them, and then they get me pretty low. As you can see here, I still kind of play it out the same way. So you're gonna see me kind of heal, jump away, and try to go for the same combo that I was talking about, right? I try to go for an opener, but he's kind of expecting it, so right away it doesn't go as I want it to. So I just simply go for a dodge roll, go right back into stealth, and I go for the same thing again. And I kind of change up the timing so that they don't know when I'm going for it, but this is a situation where you can see my health is constantly low. I'm constantly having to heal up and do things to keep myself alive. But I'm generally going to be going for the same thing. I go for my shadow cloak. I go for a surprise attack. This is kind of what most higher level players are the kind of things they do on their characters. The sets and everything are another factor, which is something I would want to talk about in another video. But once you have the sets and everything you want to have down, having a rotation down is so important to these situations, to where you're not in the most ideal one, you're not full health, you're not in the most advantageous situation, and you want to be able to get those things fluidly still. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if this was helpful. I did this on the fly with no script or anything, so it might have been a little bit unorganized, but please let me know if it helped, and then if you guys liked it, I'll do some more. And thank you so much for watching.